interviewing Mr. John Spence from Chester, Pennsylvania. Hello, John Spence. How are you doing today?
Fine, Mr. Lewis. How are you today?
Very, very good. Very good. We'd like to ask you some questions. When did you first started playing drums?
Well, I started at the age of 8 years old.
8 years old?
8 years old.
Okay. What inspired you to get into playing drums?
Well, once we got started, I got a drum set at home. I was 13 years old. Started practicing and getting things together at the age of 15, 16 years old. One night we was out Westchester State University and we happened to see Cannonball Alley in this quintet. And that's what really gave me the motive to study the jazz music more seriously when I heard Cannonball Alley way back when I was about 16 years old.
Well, in Chester, Pennsylvania, did you do a lot of clubs within the city when it was happening?
Well, I was to the point where I was studying with a drummer from out of Chester, Pennsylvania, named Robert Parker. Brother-in-law named is Benny Golson. And I studied with him for a period of time, and then I did do some club work in Chester, Pennsylvania. When the clubs was happening, I did. It was like quite a few clubs in Chester. But now it's like different things are happening. But I got a lot of exposure to the things in Chester, Pennsylvania. They had a club called the, what was it called? It was up in the fairground. That was the first time I seen Cool in the game. I forgot the name of the nightclub, but Chester had a lot of nightclubs. All the people was coming into Chester. Ray Charles, you name it. Everybody was coming into Chester, Pennsylvania because it was a happening city at that time.
Okay.
But I did get some playing experience in Chester, Pennsylvania.
Now, as far as the radio stations go, what radio jazz stations did Chester cover?
Well,
Did Chester have anything different from Philadelphia jazz, or did they have their separate jazz stations? Or?
well, Philadelphia was a major city, and it was coming from out of Temple University. And we was listening to a lot of music from Temple University's jazz station. And that was a learning experience with that. We had a radio station, but it was like a different type thing. But we got our major sound from out of Philadelphia, Temple University.
Okay, Temple University. Okay. Well, what do you think is the problem with our youth not picking up the jazz and taking the baton and trying to go further? Why do you think that's not not happening?
Well, it has a lot to do with exposure and the proper setting form, like the TV, the radio, and also live entertainment. If they get that more, they can see how it's happening, and it would inspire some. And even through the school system, everything has put a stop on that, That's due to exposure. They need the exposure once they hear it and see it live. I believe that would inspire them to pick up an instrument and play an instrument.
Do you think that's done by design?
I believe it's...
Or just pure political?
I believe it's up to that individual to some degree, and it needs to be more added to society. It needs to be more advertised and more promoted, where it's like whatever they want to promote, they promote it, so they should promote it more. That way they give the child or the student or the person to hear more and to see more, so it limits them. So when they're limited, they have no vision of it. So they have to be exposed. So it has to be put on them. Like they put the other stuff on them, put that on them. And it'd be a difference, I think so.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Right now we have your book that's out. It's called The Waymore. The Waymore book. And you are the character in this. What is your character in this book?
Okay, my character in that book there, it was actually a movie footage working with Will Smith's dad up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it was based on musicians and the lives of musicians, jazz musicians. And I was lucky because I worked in Atlantic City for like 22 years, and I like to do that, what they do in Atlantic City. I like to shoot crap. So a friend of mine that played trumpet, that's also in this here book, the publisher of it, he together.
He
Got an
published
idea.
the book,
He
the
published
trumpet,
the book.
the trumpet player.
Yep.
The trumpet player. Right.
Tony Williams. Tony Smith.
Right.
He published the book. And
But also you have, this is Will Smith.
Will Smith the first.
That's Will Smith the first.
Will
That
Smith
is
the
Will
first.
Smith's father.
That's Will Smith's father. He also was a major, it was his production.
Okay.
It was his production. So he wanted to do this movie footage. And it kicked off about 6 months. We did some things at Tony Luke's, some other scenes, and it was coming on pretty good. Then he backed up off it for a while, and unfortunately he got sick. So it was taken off the ground, but like I said, he unfortunately got sick. And it went from there to Tony.